welcome to this episode of our podcast. And this episode is about creating your collection of tuning forks. And if you're watching the video of this podcast, you'll see that I have a candle in front of me, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but this is one of my tuning forks. So let's just give you a recap of everything that's going on in the crazy world that I live in. The last few weeks have been exceptional. And my oldest daughter, she's started her palliative care hospice rotation, and she's like, "Mom, I think this is it. I think this is it." That made me cry. And then my youngest daughter, she matched with her number one pick for her residency program. So it just like, wow, that all worked out great. And then at work, we're really, so we've had these two questions in front of us. One is, who are we? What are we doing? Who am I? What am I doing? Where are we going? And everybody is like, clarify, 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 clarify. And I had some big revelations that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But also, we're just really trying to develop this creative culture. And so this is where this concept of tuning forks came from, because, we use things around us to be able to connect with creativity, with the flow, things that allow us to reach that level of, and it's an energy vibration of just kind of tuning in. So you're tuning in to the ideas, you're tuning into this higher intelligence, you're tuning into this flow. And these things help us. So backpedal a little bit. So us, a lot of ideas, sorry, and it's a little bit jumbled and all over the place, but my creative director this week, she led a brainstorming, and she was the tuning fork. She came in, she did a lot of prep work for this brainstorming for a client, for concepts for a client, for really fun, innovative campaigns. And those concepts, that way that she presented ideas that, came from this place, that came from her creative soul, it just got everybody in tune with ideas, and the ideas started flowing and evolving, and that's how brainstorming should work. So a person can be a tuning fork. For me, fire is one of my tuning forks. I always have fire right next to me. I also use crystals, but we'll do a whole episode on crystals in the future, and the ability to move energy and create energy, and have that be as a source too. But I want to backpedal to about 6 months ago. My husband and I were attending an entrepreneurs organization eccentric conference, and there are areas of the country where all the entrepreneur organization members group together, and ours is the Central District. And once a year, they have these conferences where they're designed to get you to think outside the box. They're designed to get you out of your norm. They're designed to show you as an entrepreneur that there's more to be a business than just the day-to-day operations, and how to get to the next level. And the whole conference, just because it's the world I live in, was all based on creativity, and how this idea of a creative revolution, this idea of creativity and innovation in businesses is going to be the fundamental change as we move forward. And this is the point where businesses come from. And, I've been saying this for years, but it's just really nice to have another thing that affirms that, hey, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. So this conference was really fantastic. It was all about creativity. It was all about creativity in businesses, how this is a new language. This is how people are talking, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they always have very inspirational speakers. So the year before, we had Tony Hawk, and how it was building a business based on his passion, his craft, his lifestyle. Everything was based on his true passion, which was to be the best skateboarder in the world. And it's really inspiring. And then last year's conference, they had two speakers. One was the granddaughter of Berry Gordy, who was the founder of Motown in Detroit. And it's just this absolutely amazing story. And we'll dig deeper into this in future episodes. But basically, he was a worker on one of the big automotive production lines. And that monotony of the production line, that cha-ching, 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 he began to form. That was a rhythm that he started to write music in his head. He started to, generate. The whole thing inspired. The monotony of the line allowed his brain to operate in this creative space where he founded Motown. He founded, and all the talent, the amazing talent, came from a 5-mile radius of his home. And so the Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, all of those, the Four Tops, all these bands and artists that really transformed music. They created a whole new foundation for music, came from his ideas, from the monotony and the rhythm of the automotive production line. So when you start to look at what's being done to me, what's being for me, I can't take this job, I can't, evolving that creative brain around, starting to have fun, starting to engage, starting to use this as one of your steps to get to where you need to go, that embracing that is really what he did. And it's just so amazing how many artists came from this little house in Detroit, and in a 5-mile radius, this amazing talent that has transformed music. So that was one of the inspiring stories. But the inspiring story that today was Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson, you would think would be just how he transformed basketball. He did things that were incredible. But that's not, that he wanted, the whole time his story was about creating wealth. He felt it was important for him to show, to demonstrate he could create wealth, and that he could continue to create wealth. And he has an amazing story, and we'll do a whole episode on that. But the one takeaway, which is the tuning forks, was that he said that they intentionally take a vacation near water several times a year. And when he goes and he's near this body of water, that it is idea time. It's just ping, 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 ping ideas. And that's exactly how he describes it. There's just, when he goes and he takes this space where he's out of his normal day, he's out of his normal work, and he's close to this body of water, that water is one of his elements. That's his tuning fork. That's his ability to connect with this space where he's connected to this higher intelligence and this flow of creativity and this flow of ideas. And he intentionally does this several times a year because it then becomes, what am I going to do next? Where am I going to go? What business am I going to build? How am I going to build it? And so he is a creator in the entrepreneurial spirit. But he has found how to find his tuning forks. So for me, I really understand energy. I really have worked in the energy world where we're all energy, we're all vibrating, and lifting that level of vibration to where we're tuned in, just like a tuning fork. Where are we vibrating? What things help lift us to that? What things accentuate it? Get us dialed in. So for Magic Johnson, it was water. For me, my elements are fire. Water does, because when you're in the shower, like, all those ideas come. When you're driving, all those ideas come. And it's almost like you're out of your normal operating mode and you're creating this space, but there's this thing that's delivering the conduit, the tuning fork that's helping you to tune into those ideas. So I always have a candle on my desk. My landlord's probably freaking out, but it's okay. It's okay, because I always blow it out. I'm a very responsible candle user. And and we have our office right in front of our office is this lovely pond with all this nature, and it's just a beautiful space where we are. We're surrounded. Our office is the only office complex that doesn't feel like an office complex. It's a professional office park, but it has trees and it has wildlife that constantly walks by, and we have this pond in front of it, and it's the right environment for the level of creativity. So it's our office location, our space. We just moved across the hall from one office where we had a view of the pond. My office viewed the pond and my office doesn't now. But the energy and the light in the other side was just so much better, and it just felt better. So you're finding those spaces where the ideas ping. You're tuning into this whole collection of tuning forks that can help you get in this space. And so that's what I saw this week was that my creative director, the idea of putting the problem out there, we want to create these amazing campaigns for this client. And we want them to be, what I continuously talk about, where it's coming from this place of our creative being, our creative soul. And it is that when you hear it, when you speak it, when you read it, when you see that campaign, it moves something in you and inspires it in you. So creative work is also a tuning fork. The person creating the work, our creative director, she is a tuning fork. She gets us in that space. She helps us to connect with it. So seeing inspiration before you start creating, surrounding yourself with inspiration before you start creating, all of this can help you be a better creator and a better in the flow, and just acknowledging the fact that there are ways that you can get more ideas more quickly, and you can increase your productivity, your idea quotient, again, by getting out of your head, not judging. So she did our whole practice where you're working on it the day before, you go to bed thinking about it, you wake up the next morning, you have all the idea flow, and then you're going to be in a meeting, and then those ideas compounded with everybody else's ideas, and the collaboration there just gets even more ideas. So it's just it's everything is an ignition. Everything is, creating these ideas, moving these ideas, everything moving. And, I was talking to her this morning about it. I said, I'm going to record this podcast, and I'm going to record this podcast about tuning forks, and you were a tuning fork. And she told me about her experience preparing for this meeting. And she's like, I created this space where I could she loves doing this type of work where she's coming up with ideas. She loves even more doing it with someone else, but at the time we didn't have anybody else in the office. She was doing this alone. But she's like, I couldn't turn it off. She's like, I went home. I just had to get all these ideas out of me. And she's like, I wanted to go to bed. I needed to go to sleep, but I couldn't stop. I was just ideation. I wanted to get all these ideas out of me. And so what we told her was, it's okay. And we just need to be able to be flexible in our workspace where you can sleep in the next day, or you can take time off because you spent so much energy doing this. But this is really your role. Your role is to be this tuning fork that opens this up in everybody else. And then we create these amazing campaigns, this amazing marketing that when people see it, it breaks through all the noise of marketing. It breaks through all the noise of advertising, and it allows the audience to connect with the message, and the message sticks with you. And I always set the standard that these all need to be Super Bowl commercials. They're so much fun. They're so creative. And, we were given the gift recently of a client that wants to do this. Now, it's a teeny tiny client, they have this tiny, tiny budget. But the reason we took them on is because that right now their marketing is silly. It's corny. It's they're trying to be fun, but it's kind of dad jokes level of fun. But in itself, the fact that they're putting themselves out there, the fact that they're willing to do that makes it so exciting for us, because we're like, finally, we've got a client that wants to take risks and is open to this. And it helps us to really define our lane, which is, we're starting on our marketing campaigns. Right now it's closer towards the end of March, and our big launch is going to be in July. And our goal is to have this portfolio that after you've listened to this podcast, you go to our portfolio and it inspires you. You just look at it and you're like, every time, I'm going to follow these people. I'm going to follow what they're putting out there, because it is so different and it is so cool and it's so inspirational. And we've been looking for this crazy client that wants to kind of come on this journey with us to do things that are crazy, that are out there. And then when we start to define who we are and what we do. And so that's what I, told my team yesterday was, the one thing that we do and we want to do is we want to make the crazy work. Okay. You're a marketing manager, you're an owner, you've got these crazy ideas, but the way you're executing them right now, they could be executed better. And you just need a partner that's like, we love it. We love that crazy idea. How far can we take it? And, we just, in my EO forum, that's Entrepreneurs Organization Forum, we just finished the book, the Yellow Tux book by 𝗙𝗂𝗲𝗁, and it's about the Savannah bananas. It's about, finding that crazy, putting yourself 100% out there, to the point where people, it resonates with them. They wanna follow you because they can see how much fun you're having with it. They can see that you're not living in the weight of everyday problems. You're living in this amazing space of creating. And in his world, it's creating entertainment. In our world, it's creating connections. And it's just so fun. It is so fun. So we're really going through this, clarifying who we are. So and then it comes back to me, like, who do I want to be? And so, I've just come up with this, again, crazy idea. This is a note from our sponsor, and you got it. It's me. The profits from my creative marketing agency are reinvested in developing these programs to make the world a better place. Hire us for your next creative campaign and support our mission to get rid of boring advertising and infuse creativity into memorable campaigns for your business. Go to advancedcreative.com. This is the final quarter of my career. This is it. This is my Hail Mary. This is where you make those big moves that, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so you're taking your big shots. And so starting to define who I am, what do I want to be, where do I want to go? So this is crazy, but I want to be the godmother of the creative revolution. And the idea is that I'm not the godmother in the Godfather sense of mafia, but the godmother in the sense of the whole Cinderella story. I am the fairy godmother that I'm not really doing anything. Cinderella is our true nature. Okay, and it's a really great metaphor. Everywhere she goes, there's music, there's birds, she's singing, she's dancing, she's happy. She's this beautiful, kind soul. And it's what's on the inside. It's this beautiful, kind soul, this happy person, this underdog, this, and the godmother is just kind of taking all those layers off of, all the things that are holding us back, and just allowing that beautiful soul, that true creative nature, that, making a beautiful house, making a beautiful room, clearing the clutter, getting the inspiration around you, living in this world of the flow and being connected, this beautiful, beautiful world, and allowing your beauty to come through and allowing this part of yourself that's just amazing to come through. And everybody's got it. Everybody's got access to creativity. Everybody has access to higher intelligence. We just don't know how to do it and how to use it. And so I'm the godmother of it. And I'm also the godmother of it in a lot of the denominations of Christian have this role of a godmother who is like your spiritual guide. If the parents, you're to help in that spiritual journey. And so for me, it's a little bit of the Cinderella story, or, I pitched it to my kids as Cinderella, Cinderfella. And they're like, oh, Mom, a lot of guys are going to be like, no, I can't be a Cinderfella. But I'm like, that's the point, is that, we live in a world where you have to be so masculine, but these are really some of your feminine qualities that are that vulnerability, that compassion, that leaning into it, that if you can develop this side of yourself, that you are just such a more well-rounded human being. So that's it. That's what I want to be, the godmother of the creative revolution. And I think that's a very clear purpose, and it's very cool, and I'm very excited. So this 3-part series that we're doing right now is about really understanding this more. So this is your tuning forks. You have to collect and surround yourself with your tuning forks. Decluttering, whether it's fire, water, air, driving, where do you get your best ideas? And then just trying to develop the time and the space and the projects to idea flow on. So collect your tuning forks, do this. And our next episode is we have to talk about religion, because it is one of the things that I feel the fear in religion holds people back from really embracing this. And so that's our next episode. And we're going to be talking about why your God is the right God. So join us for the next episode. See you in a few.